as a supply chain. Here we
Yes, this is how I see documentation. So I'm going to be quick because I'm told that there's only like a few minutes for presenting the idea we want to talk about. So I have been contributing to WordPress documentation since May 12th, 2011. And it wasn't 9 years ago, it was 15 years ago. And since then, I've been, just contributing and then maintaining and being a team representative. So I saw a lot of things. I saw how you onboard. I saw how teams fall apart and then you rebuild them and all the things. And over the years, I found out that writing documentation is the easy part. So the most difficult part is actually, all the things around it and administration of it and knowing where to write and what to write and how to architecture all of that. And also when things don't work anymore, how to move forward, how to change things. And in big projects, decisions are made slow, changes even slower, and there's no such thing as automatization with documentation. It's mostly just copy pasta. So the most difficult thing I found is onboarding, and usually teams don't have onboarding processes, don't onboarding documentation, because you don't have time, because you don't have enough people, so you're busy writing documentation. And that's when we enter the something I call bewitched cycle. So this is my graph of bewitched cycle. So if you take a look from left to right, when project gets bigger or whatever happens to project, you need more people because you just don't have enough people. You need more contributors, and then you go out and yell. And what I do, WordPress community knows that, I often bribe people with cookies and sweet food, to do docs for me. So you bribe them and they come and they say, oh, I want to contribute. How can I help? So you have two options. You can either onboard them in real time and show them how to do things, but you don't have time for that because you need more people to do the actual documentation. Or you can give them documentation about how you do stuff here, and you don't have that either. So the part of potential contributors leave right away. The other part try to figure out things by themselves, and they cannot do that. It's either project is complex or you just have processes, and even if those processes are simple to you and you do it all the time and it's logical, it's only for you logical and simple, not for anyone else. So you're alone there and you need to write that down. If you don't, people will not understand, and then the quality of contribution is going to go low. It's either in wrong place with wrong tools or about wrong things, and everything is wrong. So now you need to either fix that or actually onboard them, and you don't have that time, so you need more people, and you're back on the beginning. So that's the bewitched cycle that I don't know how to fix, except for stopping everything you do and just prepare that onboarding process and onboarding documentation. Also, over the years, I found some do's and don'ts, and if you compare the list, you will find that don'ts are what happens when you have not enough or too much of do's. So easy to report and easy to edit, update. It's something you want for people. They don't need to think about where to do stuff and what to do. Just report on the spot. And when it's too easy to report and too easy to edit, you have too much work of maintaining. And we had that
Milana,
with the codex. Yeah.
I'm not sure if you're still presenting because I think I'm not the only one who are not seeing the slides anymore. It's like it looks like it's in presenter view, but we're just seeing your profile photo.
I see the slides. Oh.
All right.
Oh,
yeah, I can also see the slides.
All
Yeah.
right. So, all right.
I can see the slides.
okay.
All
I can
right,
only see the photo.
Yes,
Okay.
all right, half. It's technology, I think this good old
Yeah.
Douglas Adams quote. It's another word for something that doesn't work yet.
Yeah. Okay, so I'll go back, right? Yeah.
Yes, try that.
Sure. Entire screen. Let me see if I'm. right.
But yeah, onboarding I think definitely sounded like a familiar, based on previous conversations about the importance of technical documentation.
Yeah. So, can you hear me? Can you see? Hello?
We hear you,
See
yes.
you.
Oh,
Just fine.
okay, okay. I'm sorry. So, as I said, easy to report and easy to edit. You don't want to make it too easy, but you want it to be easy enough for people to do it constantly. Then we have version control, because you want to know who to thank and who to blame. And you want complete contribution tracking, because writing docs is not the only contribution that is done. There's so many things around it, you know, leading meetings and writing meeting notes and all of that. So you want all that to be tracked. Again, clear onboarding docs. I'm going to die on this hill. This is something that can make or break your project. And
So Milana,
clear,
I'm not sure if you were, are you showing slides right now? Because we're not seeing slides.
can't share, something went wrong. Okay. It says that it doesn't show. Let's see if I just share this, the window and not the, can you see this?
Nope.
Nope.
All right. We're gonna, okay. We're gonna just, I'm gonna share the slides with you so you can see it afterwards. But I don't have too much after that. So the do's list have also clear workflow docs. So you want to document all the workflows that you have and all the tools and who to talk to, and when you are in this role, what do you do and what you don't do, so people don't spread around, and all the processes. Everything needs to be written down, because nothing is logical and nothing can be taken for granted. And then I thought about all those do's that we have, who is benefiting from it. So from the easy to report and easy to edit and update, that's usually the user. They're reading, there's error, and they report, or they're like, oh, I know the better word or better sentence or whatever they want. So usually users like to do those little things, but when they keep coming back, then you convert them into possible contributors. So you need onboarding documentation, and onboarding documentation is benefiting mostly to maintainers, I found, because you don't have to repeat 40 times a week everything, you know, over and over again. So you just document, you record videos and everything, and people can just go and watch and yell when something doesn't make sense. Version control and complete contribution tracking is also benefiting the most to maintainers and active contributors. And clear workflow docs is benefiting to whole project, I believe. And this is where we get the full circle and the actual chain of documentation. So you have the users of documentation who quickly, you know, edit few stuff, and they grow into contributors and maintainers, and they get into the project, and the project grows, and then you get more users, and that's the chain I like to see. So in search for those perfect tools, I found that tools that are hosting the docs and tools that are writing the docs they didn't necessarily need to be the same, and they have different requirements. So I'd like to, what I found is that the best tool for writing is a different tool than the tool for hosting documentation. And I like to have automatization between them so that you don't have to do a lot of manual work. And at WordPress, we did so much manual work. I don't even want to go there to remember. So those are the things that I'm thinking right now, because I'm starting to work on a new project that is open source, but it's not CMS. It's actually a new system for distributing software. You probably heard about it. It's FAIR. And I'm in the process of thinking how to make this documentation system and how to enable this chain supply chain for documentation. So I'm hoping to get some answers with you. What are the best tools and the workflows for documentation? So that's it from me.
All right, very good. Thank you. We made it work. I really appreciate it. And like you said, this was promised to be more of a conversation than a polished lecture.
Yeah.
And so
yeah.
I would say let's jump into the conversation. Like Matthias also wrote, I think it was quite clear on the constraints and what it takes, what's difficult. So I would really at this point just open it up to the participants, comments, reflections. Do you want to go first, Matthias?
Yeah, I'm interested in also what you're bringing over from documentation for WordPress and into the FAIR project. I mean, it's still closely related to WordPress, of course, but what were your thoughts moving over? How did you have any goals? Did you have any specific things that you wanted to implement that you sort of had learned through your years in the WordPress documentation team?
Yeah, well, what we definitely want to do is, so what we are bringing from WordPress, I'm saying we because there are a few of us, what we are bringing from WordPress is things that we don't want to do. So that's also very important, you know, with a lot of years of experience, what's not working. And also in WordPress community, in WordPress project, we are constrained with what we can use to host documentation. So we are using WordPress, and with some projects that is connected to GitHub repository. So there's a parser which builds Markdown from GitHub and builds WordPress pages. This is nice, but we cannot do this for everything. And especially for end user documentation, there is a problem because we want to translate this. So you need to have documentation for current version, and we want to have previous versions of WordPress as well. We don't have that at the moment because we don't have technical solution for that. So you want all the versions, and then you want to translate all that. And the hardest part is screenshots and all the media. How do you keep that in GitHub repository? How to, you know, for every single language? So we talked about this for many months at summits, and there were many discussions how to name these screenshots and images and all of that, and how to make this, you know, work for every language, and we still didn't come up to solutions. So the bottleneck is end user documentation, because we do it in WordPress dashboard, and you don't really want to give access to everyone. We had that with Codex, and we don't want that. So you are the bottleneck, the people who have rights to edit the documentation. What I really like is having GitHub as a source for documentation, and then you can, you know, share it wherever you want. In GitHub, you know everything, who did what, and you're actually treating documentation as a code. So it's easy to track every contribution, and you have version control, and with the folders, you can have different versions or different languages depending how you want to fix it. And after that, it doesn't matter where it goes. You find a platform that has a good search. That's all you really need, to have a good search and good discoverability, and you serve it wherever, you know. So I think that's what we are going to bring from WordPress. The request to have it translatable, to be able to open to everyone, so everyone can create pull request and, you know, own the specific issue or feature, and to think about the best platform for displaying it and hosting it, because it could be WordPress, but it's not at this point of time. It needs a lot of plugins to do that.
All right, thank you. Any other comments, reflections, Sarah?
Yeah, so Milana, were you working on the English version of the documentation?
Yes.
So
Yes.
obviously you're not a native speaker of English.
No.
No. So I was wondering, how did you sort of, in terms of, you know, quality control of the language and proofreading, was it just amongst other people in the team, or there were some native speakers, or how would you check the sort of quality of it?
Well, what we have right now is style guide for writing documentation, and we were happy to, well, we were lucky to have that as a project for Google's Season of Docs. And we collaborated with a technical writer who took all the documentations that they could find, and they compared to our documentation, and we made a simple simple language is what is needed for WordPress documentation, because not only not native English speakers are writing it, but also not native people are reading it. So if you really want something in your own language, you can translate it. But what we make sure so if I understand it as not native English speaker, everybody else can, I assume. So the sentences have to be, you know, short and clear, no slang, no anything that is just usual for this part of, you know, US or UK or whatever. It needs to be clear. It needs to be not really official. We are kind of semi-official, like your friend who knows a bit more than you. That is the kind of style guide that we have. And we have a handbook completely written, and we are actually going to use that. We're going to start with that in Fair Project.
So the technical writer, was he, is because it's open source, so most of you were volunteers, were you?
Yes, yeah. Yeah.
The technical writer, was he also a volunteer?
Yes, yes.
Ah, okay, okay. Because I suppose the problem we have it with Typo 3 is written mainly by, you know, it's very, very popular in the German speaking community. So it's written mainly by non-native speakers, and it makes it very difficult to understand at times with the language. And I'm sure even if we had a style guide, you know, it doesn't. I'm not sure it would particularly help. You know, what it needs is proofreading.
Yeah, what you need, I actually find is we have something that we call contributor days, where we kind of gather in the same room. They are usually the first or the last day of WordCamp, which is WordPress conference. And new people come there and they're like, I don't even know what's WordPress. And that's a great thing. So you read our documentation, and if you understand it, then it's good. If you don't understand it, then we need to fix it. But when you have a large group of contributors who are not English native speakers, but are majority the same language, you know, then you get that this might not be understandable to me, coming from Serbia. So the diversity here is the answer, you know, diversity of languages, but also diversity of cultures and everything. So something that makes sense in to German, who is translating to English, it not make sense at all to someone from Asia. So you need more people just reading that, and you know, give them you can have a specific online days, you know, when you work on like presenting the Typo 3, but you tell people, if you have never tried it, please follow these instructions and try to do what is there. And if you cannot, then we have a hole and we know how to fix it, because you're going to tell us.
So sort of like a test day for new.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Interesting. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Welcome.
All right. Any other comments, questions, reflections? Perhaps as we're nearing the end, did anybody else want to jump in? Adrian, yes.
Just a question. So all very interesting stuff. Thank you. And the question about the style guide. Are you linting with the style guide, and how would you do that if you do?
We are not doing that. But for open source project, what we found is at least have something. And even if it's wrong, if it's, it doesn't matter, someone will yell and they will be offended by the error and they will come and yell, and then you will fix it, because it's better to have something than nothing. And if you keep working on it and linting and doing this and that, and a lot of people come in and have their opinions and all, it's never going to go out. So you really need to just push it out, and you make sure that it's not like wrong, but all those small errors, someone will come in and say, oh, this is wrong, you're missing here a dot and there's typo and whatever. But it's very difficult to lint documentation, especially the voice and how you structure sentences, and what is the word is, I cannot remember the word now, but how you want to sound, it's very difficult to link that. Now
Yeah.
with AI, maybe you can do that now. Yeah.
Get the same tone of voice. Did we have also Julie? Did you want to say something?
I think maybe Adrian was referring to automated linting, like running from. We work in Docs as code, so it's perhaps a different setup.
Yeah, well, what we have similar to linting is for code reference. So we have a parser that goes through every file, every PHP file, and taking those comments and building pages in WordPress for documentation. However, it's broken, and now we have 6.9 is not documented. New functions and everything that is new in code in 6.9 is not documented, and I really hope that we get that parser fixed soon, because writing code reference by hand is just, you better kill yourself. I don't have any other comparison.
Especially nowadays, right?
Yes. I mean, those things should never be done manually. And also, one thing for Sarah, like there is this thing I've noticed over years. The best documentation is written by people who are using it. So try always to incorporate that, because they know what they need to see there and what they want to see there and what's missing. So always convert them. So in past 15 years, I got only once a person saying, you want me to write documentation? And I said, yeah, well, that's how I wrote it. So I think that's the best way to go, to find people who are using this part and just force them to give you holes in it.
I just think the Typo 3 the software, because it's so popular in the German-speaking community, it's sort of almost, I mean, I think I've got a lot of feedback that it's getting better, but it's almost like a form of Denglish. It's a sort of mix between German and English that neither Germans or English people understand in the end. And sometimes I've even corrected things, and then later someone's gone in and corrected it back to the kind of German. So it's kind of, and I think maybe because it's suffering because the community isn't that international yet.
Yes,
I mean, I think it's getting there, but I think maybe that's the difficulty with particularly the Typo 3 documentation.
Well, yeah, I was actually very interested in Typo 3, and I was taking a look at that, but I don't have a time to really focus on that. But if you
shame.
I would say, let's keep the conversation going also outside this call. I'm really glad people could connect, and we could have half an hour on documentation, not just in open source, but also as a supply chain. I really like this quote that you said, Milana, on the best doc is written by those using it, but also when you share it openly, about the things not to do and where, you know, what's the easy and what's the hard part. We're out of time. That's how it often goes. Thank you so much to everybody who joined on this perhaps niche topic, but I think very important topic and close to my heart. So thank you also to Milana for finding time and really appreciate it. And like I said, I will turn this into a blog post, and I would really appreciate you to just connect left and right and keep the conversation going. I think there's a lot to be gained from looking into the different communities and ecosystems and learning from each other.
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Milana.
Thanks.
Thank you, Milana.
Bye.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Dennis.
Bye.